I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. Don't be afraid to let them show you true colors. True colors are beautiful. Wow, like a rainbow. Hey, what's going on? It's the hardest part of the ring. What do you say? What do you know? Tip the veal, try the waitress. Hey, waka waka. Cold War, Reaganomics, airline food sucks. Where's the beef? OJ stab people walk like an Egyptian. Max Hedrum, they're fucking jokes. It's good to see you, my man. I just called two people, my man. That's enough of that. It's the hardest part of the ring. We're talking about the Hulu edition. Yes, the Hulu edition. So there's going to be stuff that is omitted. Probably stuff we want to see. In NXT's case, they love to do that. Something awesome with Tommaso Ciampa? Fuck you. That's how they like to do it. And the NXT Hulu edition, Raw is just kind of like, is it a tag team or a woman without a title? Then fuck you. And that's how they choose what goes on Hulu. Just so you know. Oh boy, so we're talking about the December 16th, this past Wednesday, Hulu edition of WWE NXT. And you're not going to believe this. Hold the phone. Back to buggy up. I know you've been working hard, but hardly working, punching the clock, passing the buck, burning a candle at both ends, burning the midnight oil. The cat's out of the bag. The train has left the goddamn station. But we opened the show with Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant. It's in his signature. That's all I'm saying. Hogan slams Andre. It was a wonderful moment and it happened for the 93,173 people at WrestleMania 3 in a Pontiac Silverdome. There you go. That's what happened. They just showed that they did not show the entire match. I'm wasting time because I can't find my notes. We start with a tag team contest. It's a tag team grudge match. Leon Ruff and Kushida are already in the ring, so hey, they're valued. And obviously, this was supposed to be Damian Priest and Leon Ruff versus the Gargano and Austin Theory, but they switched the Priest feud over to the Karrion Cross. Gives Karrion something to do. Which I'm looking forward to that feud. It feels like a big, important grudge match, main event type of feud. So I'm looking forward to when they do that, and sometime I guess early January at the thing. We'll talk about that later. So it looks like Kushida's going to be being the next guy to go after Gargano for the North American title, which is fine. I'm not big on the Back to the Future outfit. I think listen, I'm 40, so I was 5 when the first Back to the Future came out, and like it's over. Like the show isn't geared towards me. You know what I mean? Like I get that, so I'm not butthurt about it. But I don't know. For me, it's like I've seen him wear this stuff over and over, and it's like I watched both Back to the Futures, the first two of them, both, might as well be. I watched the first two of them like a few weeks ago on Netflix. It's a popular movie streaming service. I don't have time to explain that right now. And I watched them, and I thought they were both going to be awesome. And I got to tell you, the second one actually kind of blew ass. I wasn't into it. And I know the third one isn't everybody's favorite. Let me plug in my computer so the thing doesn't... I have a nice HP laptop battery, which new, so you get a good 45 minutes of not having to plug it in. It's actually really more of a chore than a convenience, but you can't leave it plugged in all the time. Ah, Jesus. What happened to me? Complaining about new technology. So they have their tag team competition. Leon Ruff misses a dive and 3 people fall down. Gargano, I understand he was the closest and he put an arm out to kind of catch him, but maybe also justify why. Like I could... I know I'm hard on him, but I said hard on. LOL, waka waka boners. But still, yikes! 3 people went down, and the other 2 guys didn't touch him at all. Like what the heck are you doing? Oh, they have a. So I really thought they were just gonna have Kushida pin Gargano here, but then on the other hand, I should have known better. It's a new faction. It's called The Way. We should talk about that. Is this the way we get people over? It is not the way. It's not the way. It's not the right way for Indy Hartwell. I think the right way for Indy Hartwell is back to the PC, which oddly enough is the same building. So just stick around when they close. We're gonna talk about that. Austin Theory hits a wacky wackadoo move that's like part fisherman suplex and some kind of part flatliner gook. But hey, it looked cool when he did it. I mean, he did it to Leon Ruff. He's not going to be able to do it to everybody. But he gets the Duke. He gets the 1, 2, 3. I give the match 38 stars, which is also the same rating I got from my friend Stale Seltzer over at the Wrestling Rubbernecker. And then we're doing this again. So because Sloppy Blackheart hosted the Halloween thing, they need a wrestler to host because like wrestlers not enough for their job. Dexter Loomis, like, who has nothing to do with Dexter Loomis is clearly going to be the host, and I called it. Wasn't that brilliant of a call because they want to remind you he's alive, but so he's creepy and New Year's evil, I guess, and he's evil. So okay, Dexter and Sloppy should just be the mixed tag team that everyone else feuds with. We have a Tony Storm package. It is Tony time. So we go back and forth between Tony time and TikTok for Karrion Kross. What's everyone's obsession with time? And you know where they're getting these ideas from? Second-hand information. Get it? Because clocks of tea. Second-hand information. I kill me sometimes. LOL. What happened after that? I don't know. Oh, they're going to end the rivalry. This is a big rivalry. Tony Storm. Tony's to this. I mean, even when Tony's been not around as much the last year, I still look at Rhea, and I'm just used to seeing Rhea and Tony. But same thing with like Trish and Lita, and you can't. They're going to be tied together forever. Like and Gargano and Ciampa, which is I have some gripes about the whole. If this ended the feud, why they would end the feud? I think Ciampa and Tommaso was ended so poorly, and yeah, this is the same way. It was just more of there was no payoff. Anyway, got a sniffle. Pardon me. Sloppy Blackheart is talking to a blonde lady, and hey, I'm gonna say something nice. I liked 94% of this promo. She sounded pissed off, but she put over the other baby faces that she was proud of her team and what they did. And yeah, they lost War Games, but the war is not over because she still has a problem with the Garganos, and she's going to go after Indy Hartwell, and because she can't wrestle Candice because she broke Candice's arm in a thing. So okay, and then she does the howl, and it's just too much for me. I don't know, but I enjoyed it to that point. I was like, okay, cool. I'm behind you. I believe what you're saying, and when I believe you, I usually like you. We have another New Year's Evil package. I think they advertised matches. I didn't write enough down. I got lazy. This is odd. Kyle O'Reilly and Pete Dunne enter the ring. Kyle with his friends there, including Bobby Fish. I hope Bobby Fish doesn't turn bad because then it'll be an eel turn. Did you like my fish joke? I thought it went swimmingly. Okay. Oh, sometimes a lot of my fish jokes usually tank. Okay, enough. Let's grow up. Man, sometimes I'm like a dirty fish tank. Sometimes I got no filter. I can't stop. I can't stop myself. I'm surprised that Pete Dunne and Kyle are not the main event. Like this is like a big deal. This should have been a 20-minute knockdown and drag out, but I guess we've seen it, and it wasn't. I don't think it was 20. I don't even think it was 10. But so they addressed the obvious. They may have got a little overboard, but it wasn't as overbooked as last week. So we got 14 guys outside. The undisputed guys come out and they brawl with Oni and Danny Burch before Dunn and O'Reilly touch, which I like. At least I like that. Like, okay, so we're still having our match to see who's the better man. We just have to address the fact why wouldn't the 88 people involved in this thing not interfere? So I mean, I couldn't have done it, but I couldn't have thought of something better. So I'm not gonna shit on it. Like I don't have a better solution, you know. So, but they do a wacky spot with Killian Dane helps run out, and then the Fandango and Tyler Breeze run out as well, and all the other 19 guys they brawl out to the back and they get shoved out of the way. So I was like, okay, this is fine because at least it gets some. We address why everyone else who's shooting with all these guys. We address why aren't they interfering, and we kind of write it off that there won't be interference. So because of where it led to, I was happy with it. So I'm happy, Bob, for this. they didn't do all big crazy bumps. O'Reilly likes to do that brain buster, and they did one spot that what was this? They're both standing on the ring apron, which is the hardest part of the ring, and they're on each side of the turnbuckles with the post, and they got each other's arms, and they're smashing each other. O'Reilly's going chest first into the buckle, but Dunn is literally leaning forward and smacking his head into the thing. And it was like a Scooby Doo equivalent of the boo yay punch spot we had to watch for like 15 years whenever it was Cena versus whoever. Yeah, I'm over it. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know if this was live or not, but if it wasn't, in post, I would have cut that match out. And just so it didn't look wacky, maybe cut to the back of for 2 seconds of everybody else being told by the officials to or Regal to get the hell out of the building for like 5, 10 seconds, whatever. And then we go back to the match. And that would have been. I hate interrupting matches with that stuff, but just to cover up for that spot. And then, hey, we're back at the action. That's my idea. I'm just being Bob. All right, I'm entitled to do that. It's my podcast. Oh yeah, O'Reilly wins the thing with a big knee, similar to the move he hit with the Orny in the chair at War Games. Hits the 1, 2, 3. The match gets 1,000 stars. It's amazing. 1,000 stars. I love when these two wrestle. It looks real. I mean, again, I don't think it was 10 minutes long, but it was. Heels can lose because I'm really big on Dunn, but heels can lose. It's okay. Um, I'm very surprised. Not very. I'm a little surprised that O'Reilly, unless they're unless they're looking for O'Reilly and Finn, and everyone always thinks factions are gonna, people always expect factions to break up and turn on each other. Is Adam Cole gonna be a dick and cost O'Reilly the thing versus Finn? I hope not. I mean, that's the logical, like I'm half asleep, lazy Booker 101 solution. I don't really know, and I don't know. I think Finn needs a heel to wrestle because they're not booking Finn like a heel, so Finn's just a grumpy face wrestling less grumpy faces. I'm a little. It'll be good. We kind of just saw it too. But then again, if we're elevating O'Reilly, so that someday they can give him a goofy nickname for not being tall on the main roster. No, too deep. Rhea Ripley is talking to a blonde lady, and then Sloppy Blackheart wrestles Indy. Oh dear, Sloppy Blackheart was not the sloppiest in this match. And I imagine in life she's usually the sloppiest wherever she goes. Poor Gremlins too. I'm always beating up on her. Indy Hartwell needs to go back to some indie wrestling. Holy shit! Everyone's gonna make that joke, I'm sure. Indy didn't sell. She sold like a deer in the headlights there, and which means she didn't. She just kind of got hit and stared. And I really think, unless I'm being worked, and that's good. I want to be worked. That's the point. At one point, they spilled out to the ring, and they rolled off the ring apron to the outside, which is the ring apron's the hardest part of the ring. They're on the outside, and I thought I thought Sloppy Blackheart looked legitimately annoyed that no matter she's hitting all this stuff, which is getting a little stiff on Indy Hartwell, and Indy's just going like ow, but not. She's selling for real, because when you get hit with that stuff for real, you just go oh god, ow, and not ah. Look at the body part that is hurting. Yikes! This wasn't a good idea, and with Candice hurt, it doesn't really do much for the faction. Because really, after watching this, I'm like, geez, only the men should wrestle right now. One of the women is hurt, and the other one can't. Period. One of them is physically not able to, and the other one just flat out isn't able to. But anyway, and it's a lot of them. The Garganos take up a lot of time. They're on every fucking week. They do a DQ where Indy Hartwell basically breaks the trophy by hitting it. I thought the trophy was going to be a thing they'll break in like a couple of months when some babyface has enough with Candice. Or Sloppy would be like, hey, you broke my tank, I'll break your trophy. But, which will happen. I don't think it was supposed to break. But anyway, they hit her in the stomach with a trophy, and then that happened. I don't know. And then they do goofy poses, and yikes. I don't know, guys. Karrion Kross is back. And he wrestled a brief match against Desmond Troy. And, wasn't not much to say. I give it 38 stars. Karrion wins with he does the wacky suplex on the head and the submission. And there you go. So they're just keeping him strong for Priest. Kept Priest off TV. But carrying Bean on TV reminds you that Priest exists. Again, Priest took a power bomb through a table after War Games where everyone took 90 dangerous bumps, and that means Priest is out for weeks. Dexter Loomis colors in his drawing, and it says he's going to be the host for the New Year's Evil. Very good. Very, very good. Rhea Ripley wrestles Tony Storm. Oh, yikes. I don't know. I'm a big fan of both. This is the first time I think I've seen Rhea and Tony, with Rhea as the face and Tony as the heel. That didn't work for me. This might be, and I love their matches. Like I love them. Like this is my least favorite. The build up was, oh, next week we're gonna blow off this years long rivalry. Like, oh, and I can't say feud. Right? That's stupid. Okay. I mean, it was very heavy on Rhea. I don't think it did shit for Tony as a heel. Really? When Tony finally got offense, she did it by getting her ass kicked and then by coming back with offensive moves. She didn't do anything shitty to cheat and then do offensive moves. Like, I trouble. And Tony Storm sells so well as a face that, which she can't do here. She's not the baby face. So it's just Rhea doing Rhea stuff, and that's great. But I don't know. This missed the mark, much like the Tommaso Gargano brawl all over the quiet arena thing. For me, completely missed the mark, and was just not a good blow off to the. There's one flaw in NXT's sometimes wonderfully simple booking. They don't really do well at blowing off grudges without titles. Because every one of their big babyface gets his moment is winning the title, and then they move on. But when there's no title involved, they kind of, for some reason, they don't know what to do. Like they can't help themselves, but we have to set up for the next thing. We have to set up. You can't wait a week. Raquel Gonzalez comes out and she just touches Tony Storm's butt. That's what she does. She touches her on the buttocks. She's supposed to be pushing her back on the apron, which is the hardest part of the ring, and helping her not fall. But it was. I'm a Raquel Gonzalez fan. I was raving about her last week, but for whatever reason, this looked kind of lackadaisical. I think the word, and she just put her hands up. So she just came out and touched Tony's butt, and that saved the match. Would have saved the match for me. And referee is distracted. Rhea takes the ref, and Raquel. No, Tony takes the ref. Raquel grabs Rhea and does the the running deal into the post there, and Rhea takes it, and I guess in the shoulder there, which is good. I don't want her taking the head. I don't even take it in the head. I mean, if it looks, the one on Ember looked good, but I mean, but I'm just saying, anyway, um, Rhea takes the thing. Looked great when she hit it. She just nailed that motherfucker, or Raquel nailed her into it. I don't know. A lot of times, smart marks try to. Oh, this is because so and so did this. So you don't really know unless you're one of the two people most of the time. Okay, most of the time. There's dumb obvious things like when the Sammy Guevara's threw like a chair into Matt Hardy's eyeball or something stupid like that. Hey, I said an AEW thing. Don't get me going. Um, Sometimes there's just obvious stupid things where everyone should go. Oh, that was really, yeah. Why? But in most cases, who knows? But anyway, it looked great. So Tony hit her finish on Rhea 1, 2, 3, and I remember as she was covering her, I'm like, if this isn't the finish, this whole thing's destroyed. It's all ruined, and it was, thankfully. 400 stars the match gets. Not for me. It doesn't do this blow off. Didn't do the rivalry justice. I don't even think this could have been the main event. I think if they just never mentioned the end of the rivalry and just said they have a hell of a rivalry and here we go, and they can't say this is the first time Rhea's the babyface and Tony's the heel, but if they play packages, yeah, that's what as I'm talking out loud, I think it would have been more effective if they don't say it's the end of the rivalry. They just say, hey, they're going to go at it. And they've gone at it in UK a million times. Or not a million, listen. But here they're going to do it in NXT. And it's the first time in a long time that the two of them are going to mix it up and see who's better. Like at one point, the announcers called it the rubber match. Beth was great tonight, too, when she was talking about it. She was trying to help Tony's heel turn on a commentary, Beth was. And I don't think the match helped it, though. I'm big on Beth. Yeah, okay, so it sets up further just getting to Raquel and Rhea. Raquel Gonzalez and Rhea were kept apart from each other and then teased they were going to wrestle, and they did wrestle, and Rhea won. And then since War Games, we're teasing Raquel and Rhea. But weren't we teasing Raquel and Io because Raquel pinned Io at the War Games? I don't think Io Shirai was mentioned on this show. Between between Raw and NXT, they have a real problem with mentioning every woman but their women's champion. I don't know what the deal is. I don't understand. But it made more sense than last week, so I didn't hate it. I tried my best. In the meantime, I'm still trying to get job interviews, which is hard with the holidays coming up. I'm talking to Qualcomm tomorrow. Should I have said that? Who cares? It doesn't matter. None of this matters. I'm trying to find work because I'm just bleeding money out here. Um, our government has been taking months to decide whether or not they want to give us $13.84 to make up for our losses this year. So I'm patiently awaiting that. What I did enjoy was that when Dunn, before they went to the finish with Pete Dunne and Kyle O'Reilly, we're going to backtrack. I think Dunn's feet were hanging over the ropes because they had just gotten back in the ring. But they, instead of spending a year and a half out there, they only spent like 10 seconds, whatever, trading one or two things, two or three things, can't trade one thing, trading two or three things on the ring apron, which a lot of people may not know. The ring apron? It's the hardest part of the ring.